In this tutorial, I'm gonna show what you can see inside. So after going to courses and seeing the different episodes, you can see the episode itself, you can play, put it full screen, okay. You can select here subtitles in English or in Spanish. I recommend your students watch them first without subtitles if they can, and if it's too difficult for some of them, subtitles in Spanish. But subtitles in English are there for more beginner students, perhaps GCSE students or other students that are learning the language and they decided to watch these episodes. They can watch them, and then there are different quizzes, between 6 and 8 quizzes or activities per episode. What type of activities are there? Well, the idea is that they are activities with the same format as the activities they can find in listening and reading exams. Especially the design has paid more attention to the exam board AQA and Edexcel. The first quiz is always general knowledge, okay, so they have to choose multiple choice, quite easy. So I know my answers already, so I could simply select them. Well, I'm just gonna do a bit randomly. Okay, so when I finish, I just wanted to show you, this is what you will see. I have got 7 out of 8 points. I can view my questions here and I can see where I've made my mistake in there. And then I can click here to continue and do the next quiz. This is quiz 2, and there are 2 things I would like to show you here. Okay, first of all, if I start the quiz, I have the option to either watch the video, just that part of the episode, or just work with the audio, which is more realistic to the listening exercises they have. They have to choose accents of the letter ñ, otherwise the system won't give the right answer. And for numbers, they can just enter the figure. Me llamo Candela y tengo, I will be listening to this, 25 años, soy de Toledo, una ciudad no muy grande. And then suddenly, I cannot really see the letters here. Why is that? Well, the reason is because I am using Safari, so the system doesn't work that well with Safari. If I go to Google Chrome, I already completed this, so I can perfectly see the letters. So if you have that problem or your students have, this is the reason. I click Finish Quiz. Let's see. Oh, I have 5 of 8 points. I can view the questions and I can see where I've made my mistakes. Judíos, I forgot the accent, is here in bracket. Verano was veranos, and ciudad should be provincia. Okay, as you can see here, I don't have the green tag to say click here to continue, but it's only giving me the option to restart the quiz. In fact, if I go back to the beginning of Capitulo 1, I can see that my quiz 1 is already good, but my quiz 2 is not counted as done. Why? Because I didn't reach enough correct answers. Nonetheless, students can do it again. However, because some people ask for it, I've opened all the episodes. So for example, a student could do quiz 4 now. If they just want to practice a specific type of activity, we can see the quiz 4. In here is showing the first time Carolina and Candela met, and a student has to relate each sentence to one person. There is a similar exercise they have to do in one of the exam boards. I can go back to the head title of Capitulo 1 and I can see my progress. So I decided to do quiz 2 again. So I can see I can do quiz 3. This one is about the synonyms, okay, that they have to do in the reading. So they have the transcription of the episode here, not full episode, just the part, the text where they have to find the synonyms. Those synonyms are in order, so the words would appear in order, which is one of the tricks students usually use to find the words. They can complete it with a word or a phrase. Sometimes when they have verbs, also to pay attention to the fact that there is a specific person, a specific tense. Here we have quiz 5. Sometimes we find this type of exercises where we can read más práctica, tema relacionado con el vídeo. In this case, there is an exercise with a topic related to the episode. The topic of the first episode is unemployment. However, it's not directly related to what is happening in the episode. We've got a text here. Students have to complete the text using the words given. There are more words than gaps, so they have to think, and they work on things like masculines, feminines, verb tenses, plurals. They have to pay attention to these things, and some of them have this as part of their reading exam. Last two exercises of every episode, in this case quiz 6 and 7, are designed so that the students do them with the help of their teachers. So, the second last exercise is always a summary. Even the title is similar to what they read in the AQ exam. And here it says to write an essay in Spanish summarizing the information on episode 1 using a maximum of 90 words. Sometimes it's not the whole episode, but sometimes it's just one part of the episode, depending on how many things happen. And here they have some guidelines. So again, with a similar format to what they will see in the exam. Of course, it's a bit difficult to provide an example because every student will write in a different way. They can write it here, but as you can see, they can write it in their exercise book. So imagine I wrote my response. What we do offer is a mark scheme to help teachers and to help students perhaps. So these are the type of things they could say. There are 6 pieces of information in the video, and in the answer they have to include 3 of those. Here there are 2 reasons and they have to include 2 reasons, so there is no room for choosing. And finally, they have to include 2 problems and there are 4 things going on. So of course it's always important that in every sentence students use a verb. Okay? And then finally, the last exercise is always a translation. Most of the episodes have a translation English into Spanish. However, some of them also include a translation Spanish into English. So in here, we can see the translation is a literal passage from the episode. Okay, again, students can do it here in a different document, as we said, and then when they press finish, they can see a possible solution. This is an example of a translation from English into Spanish. And again, you have the title, La Vida Digital, that they could have in the academic program. Even though most episodes have similar exercises, sometimes some episodes give room for a bit more creativity. For example, in episode 2, quiz 5, we propose an interpreting exercise. In the episode, Candela goes to the police station to report that her bag has been stolen. In there, she finds an interpreter and she's translating the conversation between the policeman and her. Sometimes in some schools, because they are becoming more and more international, students have to do this, translating or interpreting a conversation between the parents and the teacher or something like that. So we thought that it is a really interesting activity to do. Sometimes we do this at university as well. And students are given a script with a dialogue, both Spanish and English, and the idea would be that one student does the interpreting. So it's translating orally between one person and the other. They can record themselves, and if they click Finish Quiz, they can see a possible solution where a person is doing the interpreting. Here, for example, there is another option that we have in episode 3, quiz 3. Candela and Caro are doing the shopping list, so we thought it was a good opportunity for a student to revise food vocabulary. In episode 5, quiz 5, students can revise vocabulary about colors and clothes, which sometimes we assume they already know from GCSE or because it's too basic, but it's always excellent to revise basic things that they not always do on their own time. And another example of a different activity would be this in episode 10, quiz 2, where students have to answer true or false.